It's the summer, and you know what that means. Companies are making licensed merchandise based off of things that you could do during the summer. That wasn't what came to mind when I said it was the summer. Too bad, that's what this series is about. Of course, the Cars series is no exception to summer-themed products. From beach towels, to water guns, to pool floaties, we're going to be looking at some of the strangest ones I could find today. Anyway guys, welcome back to another video and to another episode of Weird Products. Today, it's Weird Products Summer Edition, and as somebody who owned a Lightning McQueen swimsuit in 2007 when I was 3 years old, I like to think I'm an authority on this subject. Let's begin. I thought towels would be a pretty easy target. Like puzzles and backpacks before them, I would just have to find towels that use strange graphics, unusual character art, weird character combinations, and ridiculous taglines, and I found surprisingly few. Yeah, most Cars towels are honestly pretty simple and just include like one or two characters, as they probably should. You don't need to overcomplicate a beach towel. I've been showing this one on screen because it uses the pinstripe Lightning McQueen design and this interesting Mater with Flames artwork. Pinstripe McQueen is a fan-given name, I believe, to this Lightning McQueen design that appeared all over merchandise after the first Cars movie came out. I remember having a full coloring book of like just this McQueen design and other similar character designs, and I was honestly really confused by it as a kid. I was like, why are they changing up McQueen here? From what I could tell, this literally never appeared anywhere other than promotional artwork and several pieces of merchandise. Pretty sure we've covered products with this design on it in the past, but anytime Pinstripe McQueen shows up, I think it's worth noting. And this Mater with Flames design is also pretty rare, but was used around this time as well, that time being like right after the first Cars movie came out. This has got to be like a 2007-ish product. Other than the inclusion of these interesting artwork pieces, which are really products of the time, there's not all that much weird about this one. At least not from what I've shown you so far, because I haven't been showing you the full towel. I've been hiding something. I've been hiding the slogan underneath. As you can see, it says Tow Mater, Lightning McQueen, but what you haven't seen before is that it says Tow Mater, Lightning McQueen, Up in Flames. Up in Flames. That doesn't sound cool, that just sounds morbid. Have you ever heard somebody use the phrase up in flames in a good context? No, if something is up in flames, it means your house is burning down, not that your car looks cool. After doing episodes like Weird Tuners, Weird Backpacks, and Weird Back-to-School products, I've realized just how desperate companies can get for cool-sounding taglines for Cars merchandise, and Up in Flames, in my opinion, has to be one of the worst ones. But speaking of the tuners and more bad taglines, The Fast and the Hilarious. Oh yeah, move over, Dominic Toretto. These guys are giving you some steep competition. This, like, ticks off all of the boxes for a Cars item that bothers me. One of the tuners with Lightning McQueen, even though they never interacted in the movie, check. Really bad tagline that might just be one of the worst ones I've ever seen, check. I guess that's it. I don't really have that much criteria for a product to bother me. No wonder the series has had like 30 episodes. The Fast and the Hilarious seems like one of those really bad posters that they released when the first movie was coming out. Look, I see you over there. I know what you're thinking. Wow, Ty, that epic tuner's towel is so cool for when I'm out of the pool, but isn't there some awesome tuner's merchandise I could use while in the pool? Yes. Yes, there is. This is the Surf Rider, featuring Boost and Lightning McQueen and Drift Mode! Make your move! You know, I'm gonna be honest, the usage of the drift mode phrase here might honestly be kind of genius. I know it probably wasn't what they were thinking, but like, if you're in a pool sitting on something like this, you are drifting in the pool very slowly. It's not like epic drift. No, you're like slowly drifting along in the pool. And again, that probably wasn't what they were going for, but it does work in this context. The make your move part, though, that doesn't really. This isn't going to be moving too quickly or sharply, and you don't really have much control over it. I love how it's called Surf Rider, like you're going to be catching waves on this little inflatable that your uncle lays on when he's bored of swimming. It's not exciting, guys. So far, we've only really looked at regular products with Cars graphic design slapped on them. But don't you worry, I have this series' bread and butter. That, of course, being items poorly shaped like the cast of Cars. Check out this Lightning McQueen inflatable. Made by Intex, and with Cars 2 and Cars 3 incarnations, I've got to say, I genuinely really love this. Like, this is honestly kind of cool, and considering some other things we've looked at in weird products over the years, it could look a whole lot worse. Yeah, the tires are huge and stick out a lot, but that's just to help it float. I think as a kid in the pool, this would be super cool to ride around on. You got your own Lightning McQueen. It even has a handle. You're probably not going to be able to steer it much, but it looks like this kid's legs are hanging off, so, maybe you could sort of kick it around and turn it. Yeah, honestly, this is a pretty clever one, but not as clever as the next one. Weird Products is usually at its weirdest and worst when they take Cars characters and try to make them into other products. But when I looked up Cars inflatables, the first thing I found pleasantly surprised me, and I honestly thought it was really clever. This is a Lightyear tire pool floaty, taking the classic round donut pool floaty shape and just putting logos on it and decals to make it look like Lightning McQueen's Lightyear tires. I honestly really appreciate these. I think they're so fun. They're maybe a little more obscure than having a floaty that straight up looks like Lightning McQueen, but they're so much more clever in my opinion. This is a very rare occasion where they sort of went above and beyond. I mean, not really that high above, maybe like 2 feet above everybody else, and they decided to do a product based on a Lightyear tire instead of trying to force a floaty to look like Lightning McQueen. This one is clever, and this is a rare case of me honestly appreciating the concept behind a product and honestly really liking it. Okay, so we have things you could use in the water, but what about things you can use water? And this is a really poor transition to say I'm looking at water guns now. Okay, so this is what we call the bare minimum. I usually wouldn't show a product this lame in an episode of Weird Products, but this one is just the cheapest, laziest thing you could throw together. It barely holds any water. It's not even red. It just has a cheap sticker of Lightning McQueen thrown on the side. You could replace that with the sticker of literally anything else, and now you have a completely new water gun. Wow! This is honestly a pretty fun one. This is the tune-up water blaster, and as you can see, it's based on Guido's tire gun, which is honestly a pretty clever idea for a Cars water gun. It features an image of Lightning, Luigi, and Guido on the side, and as you can see, you can soak them with speed. Alright, it's been child's play so far, but now it's time to bring out the big guns. This is overkill. This is a massive water tank. You fill up with water and you put it on your back, and it has a cord with the water gun attached to it. This is such overkill. What are you trying to be, the Cars equivalent of Firefly from Batman? Like, this is the type of thing where one kid would have it and no kid would want to play with him because he would just be absolutely dominating the game, right? This guy's unfair. This is basically using cheats in a Cars water gun fight. You got all these kids with their dinky little water pistols, and then you got one guy looking like Paz Vizsla from The Mandalorian. So I was looking for some other Cars beach or pool products, and I was surprised that I couldn't find an official Cars surfboard. I found like a boogie board, but the only Cars surfboard I could find is this Disney pin that looks like a Lightning McQueen surfboard, so we're gonna have to make do with this one, okay? But don't worry, I found some other beach products. Let me introduce you to the world of Cars beach buckets. We all had these as kids, right? These sets that include a bucket and a bunch of different stuff you could use on the beach if you were like me and were always just trying your best to dig like a 7-foot hole on the beach. These probably aren't going to help you, but hey, they have your favorite Cars character on them, right? The strangest thing about all these Cars beach buckets is Once again, they're just so lazy. They just slap an image of Lightning McQueen on a beach bucket kit and they call it a day. The other stuff included in these sets aren't even Cars related. This one came with a mold to make a fish, and the other one came with a mold for a starfish and a crab. And don't try to say, oh, Cruz says she almost hit a crab in Cars 3 because the people designing this were not clever enough to get that reference. These things are just stupidly mass-produced. I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty sure I used to have that little plastic crab mold as a beach toy as a kid. The only one I could find that put, like, slightly more effort in it was this one that, at the very least, includes a Lightning McQueen sand mold, but, like, come on, you couldn't have thrown a Jackson Storm one in there, too? Lightning's gonna be very, very lonely. Unless you buy this one that, for some reason, only comes with a mold of Luigi. Guys, I just realized that these two buckets are literally the exact same. Do you get what I'm saying now? But what if you don't have a pool or access to a beach? Well, don't worry. For the low, low price of $80, but don't worry, it's 19% off, you can get the Disney inflatable arch sprinkler for kids, depicting the car wash. You know, the car wash, which, as we all know, is actually a really bad-looking CGI sign placed in front of a screenshot of Flo's, complete with McQueen and Mater on the sides. It sprays water, and it is safe summer fun. 2 water-filled bases, keep it secured in place. Easy setup in minutes, hassle-free for parents. A dustable water. It has a dustable water pressure. How did we let that one slip through, guys? And it features Disney fan favorite, featuring your favorite characters. As you can see from the Amazon listing, you could also get Frozen or Finding Nemo variants, both of which are almost half the price of the regular retail price of the Cars one. So what's going on here, guys? What's up with that? This, as you can see, is a fairly recent product. Like, it could very well be from like this year or last year, and it's an interesting one. It's fun for kids, you know. I just can't get over the fact that it has adjustable water pressure. And there you have it, guys. Some of the weirdest Cars summer products I could find. I hope you all have a lot of fun this summer, and remember, if you try to have a water gun fight, I will absolutely wreck you with this. Bye now.